Hi there, I'm Peter Millard and this is 10 Minute Workshop, where 10 minutes in the workshop is never enough, it's never 10 minutes, and it's never 10 minutes wasted in the workshop. This week I've got a story for you that proves that I'm an idiot. As if you needed proof. It's coming up next. So last year I did a video called Festool versus cheap tool. The first one was about the track saws. And I know it's the video that sort of kick-started the channel in many ways. A lot of people found me through that video and have stayed. Thank you very much for that. The reason it came about is that my oldest Festool track saw just upped and died one day. I went through the usual dilemma of, do I repair or do I replace? It's 11 years old. There were some deals going on new TS55Rs, so I bought one. I put this in a corner of a bench that I have here, and thought I'll chuck that back to Festool one day and find out what was wrong with it. That video was really popular, got 186,000 views or so to date, and about 700 or 800 comments, about half of which were, dude, you're an idiot, just change the brushes. But obviously as soon as something dies, you do all the basic checks. You make sure that the cable's good, you make sure it's getting power, you make sure that the power is getting into the machine, and of course you check the brushes, took the brushes out, all looks fine, no problem at all with that. I actually went further and gave this to a friend of mine who is an engineer. He pulled it apart. They said, you know, all the electronics are sort of sealed in epoxy or whatever, couldn't get to it, but the brushes look fine and you're getting power. Oh, you know, I can do that. Anyway, I stuck it on a bench and kind of got on with my life. Fast forward 6 months or so, and the bench is what I call my bench of shame. If you've seen the workshop tour video up there, link up there. It's where I just dump all the tools that I'm using regularly, because if I put them away, I'll use something else. You know, whereas if they're there, I'll find them and I'll use them. Anyway, it had got to the stage where it was a real mess. And I've been using Twitter for the last sort of 6 months. So I put a little picture up there to say, oh, I've got to tackle my bench of shame, as I've got a few hours before I go and see a client. And in the midst of all this, I found at the back there this original little Festool. I thought, oh, you know, stuck a picture on Twitter, the things you find, haha, when you're clearing a bench. I must do something about that. One of my Twitter followers, Cygnus Networks it was, said, oh man, have you checked the brushes? And I was about to do my usual, dude, you know, didn't just get off the boat, not my first rodeo. Yes, of course I've checked the brushes. Yeah, but did you change them? He said, because I had a TS55 that died, and I changed the brushes, looked fine, but when I changed them, it worked perfectly. And I thought, well, but no, I didn't change the brushes. I've taken them out and had a look at them. They looked fine. And I've given the saw to a pal of mine who's forgotten more about electronics than I'll ever know, and he says they look fine. And then I thought, well, to get the saw checked out by Festool, it's going to cost about 50 quid or so, plus shipping it back there and all that. I might as well, for the sake of 15 quid, put a set of brushes in. So got a set of brushes from FFX. Hi guys, thanks for that. Very prompt. You know, yeah, there's more meat on them than the ones that came out. Anyway, I stuck them in, and what do you know? Fires up perfectly. Now the brushes that came out, as I say, that they looked absolutely fine. They haven't got the little springy bit popped out that stops it from working to protect the spinny bit, armature, commutator. Spinny bit. So I don't know why that works, but I've now got another resurrected TS55, my oldest, most favourite. So I suppose, yes, you know, first of all, take a bow at everybody who said I was an idiot and ought to change the brushes. Mea culpa. Secondly, the moral of the story, well, obviously you should believe everything that you read on the internet. No, that's not true. I guess the moral of the story is, and I have a feeling I've made this point before, that you shouldn't go looking for the expensive, complicated solution when there may well be an obvious, cheap and easy solution available to you. I could have saved myself sort of, you know, 300 or 400 quid for the sake of 15 quid and 10 minutes of my time 6 months ago. I got a decent video out of it, and it kind of kick-started my channel, so I'm not at all concerned about that. But yes, simple solutions are sometimes all that you need, and it certainly worked for me. I am an idiot for not trying it, but to be honest, it wouldn't have occurred to me to try it previously, because as I say, the brushes look absolutely fine. But there you are, live and learn. If you've got a dead TS55, try changing the brushes first. But that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little video of me bearing my soul. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it amongst your friends, and do consider subscribing. If you haven't already done so, hey, just check back on a Friday when there's always something new up at noon. I'll see you then. Take care.